One more question, one more opinion from you about the Strikeforce event last night, Phasia and Henderson. The two fights that really stuck out to me a lot, the Marlos Kunin and Liz Carmouche fight. It looked like Marlos Kunin pulled out an Anderson Silva victory right there. How did you feel about that fight?
Oh, that's the first thing I thought about when I saw the finish.
Same way.
I give Carmouche major props, taking a fight on 2 weeks' notice. She's not at the level of Kunin. A lot of fans don't know her, but tough girl. I think she was 6-0 going into the fight, and showed how powerful she is. And to me, Kunin at 135. I know she cuts a lot of weight, and she says she wants to fight Cyborg. I don't know if she's ready to get another shot at Cyborg. I think that fight, Miesha Tate looks at that and says, maybe I can really bully her, because who knows how strong she is and if she's depleting herself by cutting to 135. So Carmouche, I think it's one of those fights that even in defeat, her stock was raised. She had her mount. She looked good. She just couldn't finish the fight, and that's what she'll probably look back on and kick herself about, because she had her in a few very tough spots, but was just unable to finish. And Kunin showed her experience and her poise, being able to pull off a submission like that. She's probably the best submission grappler in women's MMA, in my opinion. I think she showed it last night.
Yeah, that was a great fight, in my opinion, in terms of just a comeback victory, just like UFC 117 repeated in Anderson Chael Sonnen. But last one, going into the main event, Henderson and Phasia. Most people had Phasia winning this for some reason. Phasia is a really good fighter as well, no doubt. But Henderson managed to clip him with that hook, and managed to finish it with a TKO victory, I believe, but they're calling it a KO. How do you feel about that victory, and who do you think Henderson should be defending against next?
Yeah, I picked Phasia too. I thought Phasia was bigger. I thought his striking was crisper, and I just thought that this was his time, that he would be able to really dominate Henderson. And in the first round, he looked like he might be on his way, but unfortunately for him, it didn't happen. Henderson continues to redefine himself. Obviously didn't look good in the Shields fight, but wasn't 100% healthy, and has come back to look very good. The finish was kind of strange, because he did nail him with that overhand right, but I definitely think that Phasia knocked himself out. But when he hit the canvas, I think that the punch definitely hurt him. But I don't think the fight would have ended just on that punch. I think the way he fell, and then his head bouncing off the canvas, was what was his undoing. But a great win for Hendo. Tough situation for Phasia, and it's amazing how that title just gets passed around. As far as what's next for Henderson, they have that fight on April 9th, Mike Kyle versus Mousasi. I think that's the fight that should be for the number one contender, because Kyle has already beaten Phasia. He's looked good. Did lose to Bigfoot, but he took that fight on short notice and was fighting at heavyweight instead of light heavyweight. And Mousasi hasn't fought in a while, since losing the title to King Mo in Strikeforce, but has fought in Dream, and has gone back on a bit of a roll here. So I think Mousasi will beat Kyle, and I think Mousasi versus Hendo is a very interesting fight.
I saw also one article on your MMAfighting.com. I forgot who the author was, but he was predicting a fight between Henderson and Fedor.
Yeah, Mike Chiappetta.
Yeah, what's your view on that?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, if one of those guys comes out of that fight with an injury, Fedor versus here's the thing. Scott Coker said after the February 12th fight that the loser of Verdum versus Overeem would probably fight Fedor, and we thought, okay, that'd probably maybe be in the summertime, but now the Verdum-Overeem fight is going to be June 18th, or at least we hope.
Yep.
So I think it would be fun to see Henderson fight Fedor. That's a fight. That's a historic fight right there.
Yep.
Two great former Pride fighters, and I definitely know that Henderson would be down, because Henderson actually asked to be in the tournament originally.
Oh, wow.
And Fedor is not a big heavyweight. He'd probably come in a tad bigger than Henderson, but not that much bigger than Phasia was last night. So if they did that fight, I think that would be a lot of fun. It'd probably be a non-title fight, but I think it would be really cool.
You believe it will be a catchweight, or do you think Fedor will be able to get down to 205 at all?
I think they would just make it a heavyweight fight, or maybe like a 220, 230 catchweight, something like that. But that doesn't really matter, because Fedor is not going to come in over that.
Yeah. All right, well, that's all we have for today. We hope to get you on the show again as soon as possible. We know you have a busy schedule and all that, and it was great talking to you. One and only again, it's Ariel Helwani, MMA Journalist of the Year last year, and in my opinion, pound for pound king of the MMA journalist world. So, yeah, Ariel, thanks for the time. We hope to get back to you as soon as possible, whenever you can, whenever you're free or anything like that. And yeah, thanks for the time again.
Thank you, guys. All the best to you. I really appreciate the kind words and the support, and I wish you guys a lot of luck with the show.
All right, thanks. Take care.
All right, take care.
All right, people, that was Mr. Ariel Helwani right there, live and hopefully in studio sometime down the road, but we will try keeping in contact with him as much as possible. And that's a professional perspective that we got right there, and it's the quality that we're trying to add to the show, get you guys more involved, and get you guys more excited for these shows.
First off, great job on the interview. Great job leading the interview. Awesome interview. Great way to get our first guest on the show. Thanks. And it was perfect.
I actually wanted to chime in a little more, but honestly, what he was saying was pretty much what I felt, so I didn't feel the need to reinforce it anyway. So.
Exactly. I mean, like the
Kamen fight, he scored it just like I did. Exactly. BJ Penn, what did I say? Round 2, I gave it a 10-10.
Yep.
Same way. He scored it the exact same way, so...
That's one thing
I'm in agreement with everything he said.
That's one thing I noticed about Ariel's style when he's actually answering these questions. As he's answering the questions, more questions pop up in your head, but he answers them right away.
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't know. I was like, all right, whatever. He said everything.
He took me out of the interview.
It was really
great to hear him though.
He's a classy guy. Always has really good perspective.
Honestly, we got to give him props to come out onto a show for just like a college out in Oshawa for like a big MMA reporter to do that. It's honestly, it's just
take it in, guys. It's only more coming from us. That's it.
That was really nice of him to do that.
I promise you guys, I'm going to try getting more names on the show, just as classy as Mr. Ariel Helwani himself. And once again, if you're listening out there, Ariel, thanks.
Please voice your opinion to Jazz. I want Joe Rogan on the show.
That's a huge step up, but we're gonna do our best to do that. And like I said, Ariel Helwani, thank you again for coming out to the show. That was really amazing of you to stay close to your fans and all that, and keep us in the loop in this MMA world. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll get right into our in-depth reviews of UFC on versus 3 and Strikeforce Hendo versus Fei Zhao. Stay put.